been this has been a lot of crazy mess to go through. Hey Suge, I love you so very much. This has been a lot of crazy mess to go through, and it's been a blessing to truly to endure and to be able to actually stand in this to show our people what is actually happening to us through our families and our communities and our agencies, and how these street images and things are produced to actually allow our agencies to prey on us through the middle class communities, forcing many of the people into poverty to displace them from their children. Many of these kids end up in the streets early at more severe high. A lot of them are spread out throughout the DMV. What happens is they fall into homelessness, fall into drugs, crimes, sex trafficking, soliciting, different things based on these cycles of what's happening to our families. And one of the things that I see that we're very unaware about, that we're unaware of in psychological trauma, is what that really instills in the dysfunctional norms that are instilled in our families, and how these things work to assist in creating these backgrounds and legal things. So now today, if you're connected or affiliated with anybody that is in the streets, agencies, through hearsay, depending on their affiliation and popularity, they can create these mass crimes to target families. So by being here in the District of Columbia, as you can see, I showed you the recent attack that they did, where they deplete you of everything. I created a website so you can see. I put it all together. Most people don't have the knowledge or intellect that I have about these things, or not, or don't, research or look into things like I do. One is 2002 case was to figure out my self-identity, and what I did was go back and look at what was going on in slavery, and it did cause a lot of trauma because I could relate a lot of those things to what was happening to us today. And as I continue, I can do so. The things that they do through the DC CFSA, the way that they use the agencies to target and remove our kids, and the way that they set up the sexual abuse, because they want you to know as a parent, so they're going to taunt you with the sexual abuse that's happening to your child, foster parents, so that the therapist can say, no, from the time that I start seeing the child, this was going on. But the therapist is fully aware, or whatever medical staff that's involved is fully aware of the sexual abuse of what's happening with the child. Over the years, reporting this with this foster parent, Terrence Calhoun, DC CFSA. See, the blessing in all of this is because people like Armstead, Tania Carroll, Taisha Carroll, Aisha Rouse, sorry, Woosie, I forgot you got married. Aisha Rouse, Julius Ling, Mashundi Ellison, Charles White III, Christopher Stanley, Demetrius Perkins. It wouldn't matter who you name. The Williams family, it didn't matter who you name, from the Commonwealth of Virginia, Prince William County, to the District of Columbia, the DC Council members, McDuffie's office, Miss and his Secretary. These things about the background that these people created about this child having all of this trauma, wetting the bed, wetting himself, pooping on himself, which continues while he's in their care. None of these things were going on prior to being in this care. We spend a lot of time in the DC council member's office, protesting in the community, where you see videos. No one never seen any of these things happening with my son. You can see him speaking and talking in the videos. Kaitlin Rancier out of the DC Attorney General's office, and the gal, no one, not even the DC Superior Court, there was 3 attorneys who was to ensure that the government got a guilty conviction or a plea. That was his job. And then the attorney that I have now, to make things look legit, so that going on, you have severe financial impacts. You have things going on in the community where you have random people trying to attack you and create things. This was the same thing going on in the shelters, and I was able to share these things with you. And I mean, it's really a blessing, so that you can see, as far as the people that's sitting on the wayside, uninvolved and not, just paying attention to what's going on, and you can see the people that's for the in the struggle, trying to figure out what's going on. What I've been able to show you is that it does not matter what you're doing right. You become a threat to Caucasian people when you're able to think and you care about your own people. So what the Caucasian women from the Department of Behavioral Health and from what other agencies, that, because they're behind the scenes, so you deal with these people when you get further up. When you're down at this level, you're dealing with all people that look like us. So when you get to them, they're trying to find anybody to make to prove that you're a threat and you're a danger. Now, the reason for them removing my son is because I'm schizophrenic, bipolar, manic episodes, paranoid, and delusional. Now, although the Department of Behavioral Health professionals licensed can vouch for this, and DHS can vouch for this, and CFSA can vouch for this, and anyone tied to these agencies can vouch for this, there's no one outside of the informants and the relatives in the Commonwealth of Virginia, or anyone associated that's not associated with them, can vouch for this. This doesn't go on in my day-to-day life. This just goes on if you have any type of emotion when you deal with these people. Like you heard, no one, Asian people are under severe danger, as these Caucasian women was saying. But through all of this that was going on, what you can see is that this 2002 case was used through everything, including through this neglect and abuse case, where my son wasn't neglected or abused at all. So these are the things that's happening, and they're very normal, and they're very I'm on the Women's Initiative committee under group under PFCC, PFFC, I'm sorry. I work in my community with my people daily. I've been doing this for years. Lord knows, y'all have been such a blessing, as chaotic and destructive as this thing started off, to see the growth and to see you willing to fight and to do better right where you at, man. It says a lot about who we are and what we stand for as a people. You show the strength, you show the best of us, that in your most devastated and most severe moments of knowing nothing but chaos and destruction, and you giving up, but you can receive enough to be able to fight your way back, to want to do better for yourself and the people around you every day. Open arms. I mean, I appreciate y'all. I know y'all feel like I'm a blessing to you, but you're a blessing to me as well. Things where this thing may get a lot worse before it dealing with, and I talk to y'all. It's nothing wrong with having emotions, having becoming, something cold and dark and empty, and you just living your life in that enslaved state. The mentality has crippled and enslaved us. The self-hatred for self, the inability to love self. So we're not able to love our families, children, others, communities. It doesn't matter. We have the facades and images of something that's good and decent, but we're very broke. And while we're very broken like that, we're very weak. This is our most severe impact, although it's from the top. The middle class, you play a strong role in this as minorities, nations of you. You would be the key people through our churches and communities and all of that directly assist with crimes on our lives to target us and our children with. When I sit there and I listen to such care and fear for our children and lives more than us, it's very offensive. Caring, loving, supporting. And so if anyone is telling you that our government agencies and the representatives are doing their level best and they don't understand, they do understand. That is the point of me this is when you target someone's life to do the wrong thing. This is pure white hatred at its best. See, all it took was them two Caucasian millionaire, the streets, through law enforcement. Because the street people like Leonte Carroll, Demetrius Perkins, Christopher Stanley, our real DMV drug dealers and gang. This is who the feds align these people as now. I'm not understanding how any of it can be real with such mass amounts of people working through our agencies doing this. This is used to target and create backgrounds to help these people, and they come out and they pretend that you're involved in the street life. And it's such a blessing to be able to track everything and be that organized to where I have records to show. And look at all these agencies I'm connected with and all these people I'm working with and all these things I'm doing. And these are the things that they do so that over a time period they can create whatever background they want to target you. And you're a little behind because you couldn't grasp how they were using those three branches of the government, but I was able to show you exactly how that works through the Department of Justice, use the branch, which is your Department of Human Services and other agencies, to target you. Then therefore they use the judicial branch to make all of that legit. And being on these committees, these boards, being involved with our council members, representatives, doing the right things in our communities. As far as the council members concerned, this is a broken system, and they're all, the entire government is working on this broken system that is broken based on who they are. But it's a separate entity of them. Now, many of you may be dumbed down, so you may have been easily to accept that. My mind does not accept that. Year after year, there's administration and different people who run different things. When they do the wrong things, they shift them around out here and move them around, but they keep them in play. Any of these people you saying their names and they was involved in crimes with them, all they did was shift them somewhere else so that they can continue the things that they're doing. So, dealing with y'all every day, Caucasians here in the district, and seeing your direct hatred and hearing the stuff you're doing and seeing the stuff that you do to us directly, I always knew. I'm just going to be honest with you. And, you show up for who you are. Just so you know, I don't spend my time looking at you and other people. I spend my time looking at me So it allows me to see the rest of the world very clear, because I choose not to create distorted things about myself. I'm not a person to tell myself that I'm exempt to life. I'm not a person overcome. Those things matter, and the more that I overcome in this, the more that I want to give back to my people, and I've been able to do that. So I know at this point, with you, by the time they catch up to this, I don't know how long that'll be, but my thing is I have to stand for my child. And we lose our lives all the time, and most of the things that you do is to kill us. If you can't send us into a severe psychotic state or incarcerate us. And these things you do through our people who want you to kill us. So while y'all get to pretend and play like you don't know what you're doing and you don't know how these things are happening and all of this, while you get to do it, there's no accountability for anything. I understand. I'm buying time, you buying time. We buying time in this. I understand. And I know that, this week you're going to be going through the most severe things to do, the most severe things because of what you have going on with my son to adopt him. And so I'm here. And I just want you to know, United States of America democracy, I am grateful to be a U.S. citizen. No one else did. God loved me until I could love myself. That's the best thing I could tell you. I would still probably be lost in this, backwards, messed up, but God seemed fit to fight for me when I couldn't fight for me. So when it comes to, you don't need any evidence or anything. You have been able to do these things on hearsay. Someone saying there's someone saying something, everything is about what someone said, and none of these people are there to testify to anything that they said. So this is a very, very normal thing. And fam, I'm just saying, get ready, baby. It's about to get real. Yeah, it's about to get real. I understand that many of you do not understand that you're slaves, or that you have adopted a slave mentality, and that the things that you do through your street images and your good upstanding decent images through the system to target people that look like you. You think your dislike of them is because you're some type of real person. Your whole mentality is an enslaved mentality taught to you, and it was taught to you from generation to generation. So doesn't matter who you talk to, you're gonna say things like, oh, that's always happened, that's always what they've done, oh, white people always done that, they always committing crimes. And whenever they doing is wrong, and you know it's wrong, and you're just saying it, but you go along with it, you're enslaved, and you've been enslaving us for a long time. So we're very unaware, and due to the fact that people like myself speak on these things, you Caucasian people attack, and you use nations of people to assist you in that as well. So we face some real severe things, and whenever we step up to the plate to do the right things, to talk to people, to share, to do whatever that needs to be done in our communities and families to make things better, you attack. So you've been attacking. It's over 4 years now, and just so that you can't pretend that this is black on black crime, or that you're not involved in the things that's happening. I've been able to show you that you're directly involved in all of the things that's happening, denying us medical care, financially using banks and other financial institutions to commit crimes, to financially deplete us, to hold us under, including corporations. All of these things you do when you commit these crimes. They're financial, mental, sexual, emotional. There's no crimes that you don't commit on us. Many of the things that you do, it's actually modernized from the same things that you did during slavery time, especially of the sadistic sexual things that you do to our children and taunt us with. And then the diagnosis of all of these mental health things. Somebody outside of this would see this. So whenever we're emotional about something, you have these people in place through your Department of Behavioral Health to just, make up anything on our background. You have law enforcement to do the same thing legally. You have DBH and DHS and all of these other agencies that you just create whatever you want. So this is the thing. All of this that they did through the Department of Human Service, I'm a total loner outside of the things that I do. I don't hang with people. I'm very before you even get near me, so I can avoid things like that. Like, I'm not a petty person, don't gossip, don't get into no he say, she say. So these things that happen no matter where I live at, I really don't deal or hang with nobody. I've been out here in these same streets. It's nobody I don't know out here in the community. I speak to my people, show them love. Me hanging and move short amount of time to target my son is really all done by the Department of Human Services, DC CFSA, which is their Child and Family Services, the TCP, the Community Partnership for the Prevention of Homelessness Agency, which overseen the shelter, and whatever agencies they needed to link in to make it look legit, to say, no, we did this, we did that, when none of that is the case. These agencies are collaborated to commit crime. So when you sit on these boards and these committees and you talk to these people and you tell them, you realize they're in place to ensure that the truth of these things, the real issues that we face, are covered up, and that they continue to pretend as if they're creating cycles to help, but the cycles that they're creating are to increase poverty and to take care of you, the middle class, is the agenda, to make you feel like none of us have human rights based on the things that you do through these agencies in the system. And then the other thing is, this incoherent thing. Whenever we talk about racial hatred, this is why you should know that you are either a racist or enslaved when you pretend like it no longer exists. It is the key factor that drives America. This is what y'all live in. Many of the days and most of the time of going through this, you try to dedicate a lot of your time. Now, what you can do is, when everything is all said and done, you can go back and look at the cameras. Everywhere that I'm at out here in DC is on camera, and you can see the things that they do, the Caucasians and different foreigners that they use, that they do to target people for these agencies. You can see it for yourself. It will look very strange and real weird and out of place to you. I promise you. You can look and you can see. But these things that you'll never see because they're covered up. Because the agenda is to continue this, to keep us in this most severe state, and we're aiming at ourselves because they're using our own people. But what you do need to understand, brothers and sisters, that because you're related to someone does not mean that is your family. Your family is the people that love and cherish you. When God sends you a helping hand, someone to care about you, someone that want to help you, people that don't have no agenda like myself, don't throw that away. When you shoot people off like me, when God send them your way, God doesn't send you that again. It's a blessing. Because whatever you wanted to do, whatever you prayed to do, God sends you a helping hand to help you get there. Most of the time, y'all going to shoot this off because you're mentally enslaved. You're going to be, they're too pretty, so they might want your man. You got all of these weird things going on with yourselves, and, that's the point of healing, so that you don't have these things. I deal with a lot of different people, and one thing that I can say consistently is there's a lot of trauma. And although they try to do a good job of, working through some of it, some of those things they don't even see, because they're not surrounded by people who actually love them and care about them, to push them to actually take note that if you take care of this within you, there's no heights. You can go as far as you want. The broken, weak thing inside you is holding you back. The dysfunctional norms and the trauma, the things that devastate our families, that keep us in these cycles, that doesn't allow us to have good communication and build positive and healthy communities, longevity. All of these things are done through those dysfunctional norms and psychological trauma. And I'm hoping and praying that before I leave this world, I get to show you, break that down to you and explain it to you and show it to you so that you can work on it. But my people that I've been out here with every day, you don't have no excuse. You can't fall apart of none of that. All you can do is stand and come up out of this. Just remember what I told you. You can't stand in this broken and weak. You can't stand in this strung out on drugs. You got to come out of all of that, fam. All of that is a stronghold. It's a trap. You need your mind. You need to be able to think. You need to be able to feel. You need to be able to know what's going on, observe, learn, all of those things. And you can't do it under that severe. This is one of they've just been holding me out here while things that I was able to do and all of that stuff while I was out here. And while I'm doing these things, the attorneys and the caseworkers that I have that's aware that I'm involved in, none of them are relevant to the courts or none of this. They just go in there and they do whatever they want, and it's a real big mess. And they're gonna have it together to say, oh, we did this and we did that. It's a lot. It's a lot. So again, these people run around taking pictures. Hey, fam, I smoke my tree and I'm gonna smoke my tree. I thank God that that's all I do while dealing and going through all of this. And I'm a praise. I'm a listen to my music and jam as much as I can with this toe up arm, and and be who I am until I'm left with no other choice. The purpose of all of this was for me to die in this. Believe me, I have no issues leaving this world. I'm totally good with that. My thing is to not just die so you can continue on to molest and prey on our children. My life was not taken because I was mental health nowhere. So if you're that dumb and you're that sick, there's something severely wrong. You should come out in the communities and talk to the people and see and ask anyone. View the cameras. I'm out in the public. That's where I stay and live. I live outside in the public. So review the things that these people got going on. That won't be so. I spend most of my time helping other people. So people really not even aware that I'm going through none of the things that I'm going through. I had to really force them to understand that, God don't want me to look like what I'm going through, so I don't. And I truly thank God for that. So again, fam, don't think this ain't stressful. Don't think this ain't no terrible, horrific thing. I don't have the energy to be crying and all of that stuff, because I already been dealing with this for so long, and I realize this is a normal thing that's done to us, and how it's set up through our democracy to be acceptable to enslave us. So, you either come out or you die. You die trying. That's how it is. I can't to be a slave for them, to prey on my own people, to live in fear. I have no intentions of doing any of that. The history and present show that validation for this would never come, no matter what anyone's able to do. Because after doing so much for so long, if you're not validated, you're never going to be validated. That's just the bottom line. These cycles continue to get worse. Nothing else. That's it. Just worse and worse cycles. So as long as we accept this abuse will continue to be done, because that's what abusers do. Okay? So again, why these people get to play with our lives and pretend that we're mentally unstable and we're doing all of the wrong things, that is not so. This is pure white hatred. Do you understand me? Pure white hatred in nations of enslaved minorities. There's no evidence. None of anything. So when world, my people, you who have asked to do nothing, you only got one task to do. You stand up for my son. That's it. That's your only task to do. You make sure you push until you get somebody outside, because see, these people are not going to do the right things by me or my child. What I can't do is beg them after knowing that they've been intentionally harming my child for so long. So what they're going to say is, oh, it's mental abuse. They try to say it's some type of hallucinogenic drugs or something. Man, I don't know what these Caucasian people be talking about. Y'all deal with these people more than me. I have no clue. All I know is that all of them that I've been involved with get themselves involved to harm us. For instance, Ward 2, right? So this young Caucasian girl, like, she's like 26 years old. She's like killing herself. Killing herself. She wants to help me. She wants to be involved. She wants me to be able to come to her building and all of this stuff. So when I finally do need her help, and she realized she can't get me to adapt the enslaved mentality that she's trying to tell to me, oh yes, the system is broken. The system is you people. You're broken. Fix that. The system's fixed. You're part of the system. You one of the people that work behind the scenes. You press yourself to get involved with my son, with his case, to involve other people, and behind the scenes y'all align yourselves to do the wrong things, and then you get to sit back and live a good life. And who's done anything to you? By standing in their own truth. No one's harmed, no danger, no attacks on anyone. Just saying, yo, this is foul, this is messed up. These are not accidental things. If this was accidental, how does this and this happen? Yeah. How do you accidentally molest a kid, continuously accidentally target his mother? How do you accidentally set all about the 2002 case and creating a background of a predator and all of that? So fam, these people have already created this background. These are the things that they do to target our children. So when I've been saying to you the entire time, fam, my time is limited here. So I want to give you all that I can give you before it's time for me to leave this earth. Because see, these people is not going to ever do the right things. That's not going to happen. No, bullying, intimidation, and pure hatred. That's what you see from their kids doing. That's why their kids is forcing their other kids to commit suicide at a high rate. You see that in their all white schools, all Caucasian schools. The mass attacks. You see what's happening to children. All of these things are rooted out of the same hatred. Because in order for that hatred to take root, hang on us is a normal thing. So the way I see it, if God means for me to be in this world, I will. If not, I was meant to leave this junk, because ain't no way. So I don't commit no crimes. I don't get in no trouble. Lysandra Robinson and Tanisha Robinson and people like this that's all connected through our communities and got these good backgrounds and people you consider good and decent people, and all of y'all are well-to-do folk that care and all of that. All of these things go on based on the sickness that's within you. The inability to love creates severe devastation amongst our people. The same way you show that disdain and you show that dislike and all of these bad, ugly things. If you have something good in you, you can show that too. And it's been a blessing to be able to give that to my people, knowing that they've never seen love before. So I understand why y'all love me like you do. I understand your respect for me. I truly do. I appreciate you too, fam. No jokes, no games. I really understand that, because to live in this, you've seen me out here living in this amongst you, not living the way that you live in that same lifestyle. So while your lives are more chaotic and destructive, you've seen me standing in this truth and not moving or being swayed based on what no one else do around me, no matter who it is. And that strength comes from knowing and trusting in God, but knowing God is a different thing from believing in God. So I'm telling you, family, I can't vouch for nothing on this earth. I can vouch for God, and you got to heal inside. You got to fight for you. You are worth it. I do not spend my days and time telling you this and talking to you in depth about the value of our people and the value of our system and agencies through nations of people. You can't look at this thing one-sided. On every side, you're going to have people that is forced. Every side. You cannot close your eyes or close your mind or ignore the truth of anything when you're dealing in the truth. So, I love you, family. Blessings and peace. And y'all know, we're going to just be, doing what we can do, family, until it's all said and done. It's a lot. But I definitely love and appreciate y'all. Suge, I love you so much, man. So much. I'm so deeply sad and hurt, Suge, but I keep pushing and fighting because I understand the sickness of this world. Now I really understand why I never fit in. And I can't even be upset about that. I don't want nobody telling you nothing stupid, Kimante. So I'm going to depend on the people that know me to make sure that I'm known. I'm all through the district, and my people love me. They do not. It's become very hard for me not to recognize when somebody's being sent at me because of the love and respect that I got from my people and the bond that we built in going through this. And you got to remember, all of this has been happening to me while they've been targeting me as a predator to use the public to actually kill or harm me based on something that never even happened. And while all of these things went on for all of these years, there's been no accountability for anyone. So our lives don't matter. Do not let these people tell you. You can see Councilmember Brooks tell you that there's nothing that they can do. Things are done by them. And to separate themselves from it is a way of psychologically, mentally, dumbing us down so that they don't have to for what's happening to you. I understand your fear of what you do to a mass amount of people. I don't understand that. What that is, I'm not into no shenanigans or dumb. However I stand, that's going to be what it is. I ain't budging on that. And we can do whatever you want to do, however you want to do it, period. I'm doing the right things. Let's do or die in this, fam. Like, not from that generation and based on some people that's been out in the streets, just selling drugs and, helping out the system. I don't see the wrong way. I don't see no reason for my life or any of my kids to suffer for anything based on nothing. You've been molesting children, and the people's kids that you passed around, molested and used and abused, none of them are mad at any of you. So the investigations on the police covered up all of these type of things, and even do me like that. I don't got no mess like that. I deal with everybody in my community. So the Caucasian people, I'm incoherent to them. They don't understand me. Just know, Caucasians, I understand your hate. Again, family. Say rap brother. I'm in this show because I just killed my phone battery. How you doing today, fam?